So I got to ask you, when you look at the business of the NFL, that trade that the team made, a blockbuster trade, I mean, to me it's jaw-dropping. The deal they made to bring Matthew Stafford in, and they gave up Jared Goff, and he goes to Detroit. What was your reaction to that trade? Because that was an absolute stunner.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. It's a wild, situation there when you end the season, and you obviously know by kind of the demeanor of the team and the press conferences and things like that they're kind of assessing everything with the franchise, and then all of a sudden, things kind of build up throughout the week, and you hear the rumors of what's going on and speculation throughout stuff, and guys are kind of questioning, and then all of a sudden it happens. And it's the really tough part. I mean, playing 15 years, it's not the first time I've seen tough things happen, but it's always one of those things that it's like, hey, you see both sides of it as a player. Like, hey, you're happy for Matthew Stafford because, obviously I know him and personally and think a lot of him and his wife. And so you're happy for them that they get a chance to do something they want to do. But in the same token, you're crushed for a guy in Jared who it's meant so much to us these last couple of years in the sense of just what a good person he is and a good kid and has really grown him to a really strong young man and I think is somebody that will handle this the right way. I think the way he already handles it has been very admirable, and I think he'll continue to do that. And so you wish him the best, and you're sad that you're going to miss him. And at the same token, you're excited for the potential you have with Matt. And so it's one of those things as a player, you don't have much say in it, but you just handle the situations as they come. I've seen a lot of things happen, good and bad, throughout my career with guys, and it's just part of the game.
How are you approaching the early part of the offseason? Are you chilling with the fam? You playing some golf? Or are you thinking about ramping it back up pretty soon?
Yeah, kind of a little mixture of everything. I mean, getting ready to get back to training and spending a little time with the family and kind of having some quality time there, reflecting a little bit on a wild year. I mean, obviously with everything that went on from the COVID-related stuff to, also having the injury and tearing my PCL and MCL and trying to make that comeback and being able to play in a playoff game. So it's been a wild few months, and we're just kind of spending some family time and getting ready to get back to work.
We're talking to Andrew Whitworth. It's well said. Regarding that knee injury, you were told that it was going to take 16 weeks to come back from, yet you were back in just about 8 weeks. How were you able to do that, and what was your mindset when you began that rehab?
I mean, really just from day one, once they told me that, really the length of the injury, but they were like, hey, we can't say that 16 weeks is for sure. I mean, you could possibly do earlier, and the playoffs is if we make the playoffs, there's an outside chance that you could play. I really just put my mindset that that's what I was doing, and obviously there's ups and downs that go with recovering from an injury like that, but just kind of staying stubborn and keep working, and I was able to get out there. Obviously, you don't feel yourself completely, but I was able to be healthy enough to go play and be a part of the team and be kind of an uplifting thing to have, a guy like myself back, and that I know being a captain and a guy that's, definitely been there with all those guys for a while. I knew it would be uplifting if I could make it back for them. And the excitement of my teammates is really one of the things that made it so much fun to keep trying. And it's definitely something I'll remember is that accomplishment of being able to get back.
We're talking to Andrew Whitworth. It's one thing to understand that injuries are part of the game, but I thought that your approach to it was pretty amazing. Again, this was a devastating injury, and to me at one of the worst possible times, yet when it happened, you said that you were actually thankful for it, thankful for the new challenge. Again, a serious injury at a really bad time. Why was that something you were actually thankful for?
Well, Jim, I think it's one of those things that if you're a leader, and myself, I've been a captain of an NFL team now, whether it's the Rams or Bengals for almost 10-plus years. And when you're in those leadership positions and you're somebody that guys look up to and you go on shows like this with you and people are commending you and saying great things about you and all that, I think sometimes you're in a situation where you're playing from ahead a little bit, and guys may not know what it was like when you were in the struggle as a young player, or you were trying to achieve something in your career. They only kind of see you once you're kind of in a groove now. And to be given an opportunity to show the young guys, to show the guys on my team what my commitment is to the sport and what my commitment is to being at my best for my teammates and overcoming something that's really adverse and realizing I may not be playing, but I could be there for them off the field field, on the field, as just somebody that's helping them understand how to play better, understand things that are coming at them off the football field. Just new ways that I could be there for them in a down time when things aren't going good for me. I think it gives you an opportunity to show what you're really about, and all the things that you speak into them and that they look up to you for. You get to confirm those, and you get to put a green check by them, and they go, you know what, this guy really is about all the things he says he's about, and he really does approach things with a different mindset, and I think you get a chance to really confirm the person you are to people, and I thought that was an opportunity for me that I decided to treat it as a blessing to get to show people that I'm about the things that I say I am.
And by the way, Andrew, your teammates to a man would all say exactly the same thing about you, that they do lean into that they pick up on that you've been a great mentor and a great leader, and you've helped them through a lot of things. I'm kind of curious, when you first came up, when you first got into the league, who were some of your teammates and leaders who inspired you when you first started in the NFL?
Well, I had guys like T.J. Husmanzada and Willie Anderson, and old center Richie Bram. I mean, there was a lot of your old heads that they'd say, guys who were in the late ends of their career who leaned into me, and also Carson Palmer. And Carson Palmer was a tremendous leader in Cincinnati, and obviously a fantastic player and a guy I looked up to then. And so it's kind of one of those things where I had enough guys around me at that time to lean on and kind of show me the way. And so it's one of those things that I didn't take lightly. Once I had the opportunity to be a leader, it meant a lot to me to have that opportunity and take advantage of it.
All right, so now you're the old head, so to speak. You're 39, Andrew, but you're still playing at a really, really high level. Question is, in terms of mindset, do you want to play again in 2021? How are you approaching it?
Right now the plan is to play. I mean, I feel good. Obviously I'm still in the rehab process for my knee in the sense of making sure it's completely healed before we really get after it. So it's really going to be just kind of doing a little bit of continuing to rehab that and get it fully functional to get ready for the grind that it takes to get prepared for an NFL season, and especially in the way I like to train. So I'm getting in that mindset. And, yeah, I mean, I set out a goal in 2013 when I injured my patella and had a patella surgery in Cincinnati that I thought I could play into my upper 30s, and then that kind of grew into I thought I wanted to reach the goal of being able to take an NFL snap at 40 years old as an offensive lineman. And next year I would turn 40 during the football season. So obviously there's a lot of team goals and a lot of team success I want to have, but individually it'd be pretty cool to have the opportunity to still play this game at 40. So I'm looking forward, as long as things work out, to having that chance, and I'll go at it the same way I go about everything else, and I can't wait to work for it.
We're talking to Andrew Whitworth. All right, so it seems to me you've got plenty of football left in you, but when it does end, and it does for everybody, but when it does end, how does it end? Like, are they going to have to rip the jersey off your back, or are you going to make sure that you leave with a little something still left in the tank?
I'm not sure yet. It's one of those things that this is kind of what the goal was, to have this chance next year, and so I could easily see myself thinking that would be it. But at the same time, as teammates would tell you that have played with me from Cincinnati to L.A., every year I tell them this is the last one. So I've been doing that for about 7 years now. So it's one of those things that I don't really know. But, I will say there's been people, like you just said, that lean into you throughout your career. And I'll never forget when I signed here in L.A., I had the opportunity to play golf with Wayne Gretzky, which was obviously just amazing to get to play around with the great one. But he shared something with me on the golf course that he said, man, look, this is the greatest thing you'll ever do, in the sense of like what you're used to in sports and the energy and just the amazing opportunity to go out there with that adrenaline, play a game you love. He was like, what, don't get too far worried about what happens after. Make them rip that jersey off your back. I mean, play the game until you can't play it anymore. It's what you love. It's what you've always done, and it'll be one of the greatest memories you ever have. So just play it until they have to make you leave, and that's something that stuck in my mind, is that if I can still play the game at the level it takes, and I still love it, then why would I walk away from it? And I've tried to keep that as a focus here these last few years.
I love that anecdote, actually, about you playing golf with 99. I don't want to get too personal, and you can answer it any way you want, obviously, Andrew, but I'm going to connect the dots. If you were playing with Gretz, then I'm guessing you guys were playing at Sherwood, and if you were playing at Sherwood, I'm guessing that might be your home track, and that to me, and I don't play, but for a long time I wanted to live in that neighborhood. That is the most pristine track almost that I've ever seen. Is that where you were playing, and how are you hitting them right now?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I live out that way and play at Sherwood, and it's a beautiful golf course and a really special setting to play golf out there. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't, as a person who loves golf, I couldn't be more excited to have our facility be out close to a place like that. And so it's been a lot of fun. And, yeah, I mean, right now I'm getting back to playing in the off season. You know, it's always a little frustrating in February getting that golf swing going again, but I love it. And you know, I look forward to getting that game going and being ready to take some of the guys' money this off season.
You know it. Got a few more moments with Andrew Whitworth. You know, in terms of golf, I had a conversation with John Smoltz, Andrew, and he's pretty upfront about this. He feels like golf helped extend his career in baseball, that it did so many things for him mentally and physically, that it just was really good for him. I mean, obviously you've got a passion for it. Does it in any way help you as a football player? Has it done anything to help you in terms of longevity in your career?
I really believe it has. I mean, I'm somebody that in the off season, really regardless of whether I play around the golf, I go hit on the driving range as soon as I finish my workouts every single day. And it's kind of, to me, it's one of those things when I finish training and getting the lift in and running in that I need for the day, it's a way I go kind of wind down and then, but also at the same time keep my body moving and flexibility and all those things. And for somebody like myself, a lineman, all the muscle and weight that you're having to carry, just that constant movement of flexibility and moving the body and the joints and being on your feet, you know, all those things I think have really helped me with flexibility and feeling good. I mean, when I go finish hitting golf balls and those things, just how I feel and the body movement stuff is just so much better. And I've really seen a progression there over the last 5 to 10 years that I've been playing golf and seeing how my body feels and how much golf I play and how active it keeps me, where I'm not sitting around on the couch or sitting around getting stove up from some of the injuries and joint stuff that you can get playing this game. I really am one of those people that I'm pretty adamant that I think this thing golf has really helped me extend my career and really been a big part of me being able to play at the age that I'm playing at.